Rock and roll may live forever, but we only retire once. Kevin Lamour of Our Financial Plans and Quadris Investment Services offers a large range of financial solutions from some of the biggest leaders in the investment and insurance landscape of Canada. See how a solid financial plan built with friendly and professional advice can help. Find out more at ourfinancialplans.ca or give them a call at 705-949-1316. Folks, and welcome to another episode of the Lonesome Cowboy Podcast. And on the line today, I have another Folk Canada colleague and musician, songwriter, Marc Audet from down in that wonderful Ottawa Valley. You guys are so lucky down there. How you doing, Marc?
I'm doing fantastic. I hope you're doing great too.
We are actually, got some snow and freezing our nards off, but you know how that goes.
Yeah, no, it's all good. I like an honest winter. It's terrific.
Well said, an honest winter. Yeah, they're calling for like minus a bajillion around here, and I went, oh, good, it won't snow. Anyways, Marc, like I said, I'm fascinating with your songs that you have because I enjoy that kind of songwriting. Tell me, how did you come about to write things about the history of the area where you live?
Yeah, it's just kind of a weird combination of three things. First of all, I live in the Upper Ottawa Valley, and here it's all Crown land. It's beautiful. There's all kinds of old historic ruins in the bush, and that was catching my attention.
Mm.
At the same time, I was working actually professionally as doing historical research on. I was part of an environmental remediation group, and
Okay.
first thing you do when you go to clean up a site is you hit history. So I learned some historical research skills, and then also I had been getting more and more involved in music, and so my interest in writing songs about history came at the same time as I was learning about doing research, and as I was starting to take an interest in the things that are in the forest around here, the old camps, old farms, and that sort of thing. So it all came together that way, and it's just been wonderful writing songs about local history, and what's happened was I didn't. It was kind of funny to say this. I didn't realize where I was going with this until one day I realized, geez, I have enough songs to put together a 2-hour show. So I put together this show, and I rearranged the songs into a narrative, and then next thing you know, I have this show that speaks to the history and heritage of the Ottawa Valley, and it takes listeners on a sort of a musical tour through time, and it's just been fabulous, and I get lots of really great feedback, and it's been just wonderful doing this. It's not easy to actually, the narrative ends up being the more difficult thing to deal with, not so much the playing songs, but because you want to be accurate, you want to present yourself well, you want to manage the information carefully. So,
Is there a particular a type of history or anything that in the area that you like to write about? I mean, is it mining or is it forestry or any of that kind of stuff, or you just take it all in?
well, it's mostly it's the logging history and also the fur trade. That's how the Ottawa Valley was first known, was the fur trade. Well, first known to settlers.
Right.
But then along came forestry, and then along came the settlers. So there's lots of stories of really difficult times with people coming from Europe trying to settle here and trying to make a scratch out a farm and what are just horrible soils and that sort of thing. So those things too, and then more recent times too. And as soon as we got into the industrial age, things changed a lot. And it's the same all over Canada too. None of the stories here are unique. It's neat to talk about the stories here, and a lot of people in other parts of Ontario can reflect on the same way.
Yeah, I agree. That's awesome. I've written songs about the War of 1812, and I know the War of 1812 touched in the Ottawa Valley area. Have you ever gone on that kind of a songwriting trip for that?
Not yet. There's here in the Ottawa Valley, the only war aspect was the farmers and that left to serve.
Oh, yes.
There weren't, well, there were some, I guess, there were some warring type things that happened in the 1700s between the different First Nations groups.
Oh, yes.
But, called the Beaver Wars.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the one thing I don't write about is First Nations history because I feel I'm in the wrong. I'm not the right person for that.
Understood. Yeah.
So I always start off my shows with the acknowledgement, of course, that we really appreciate the love that these, folks have for the lands, and as we do too here. So, but I don't write about.
Yeah, there you go. Okay. Mark, I just noticed your voice was fading out a little bit at the end, so we'll just get you to,
Oh,
yeah, I guess you just got to
okay,
keep the volume at a certain thing. I think
yeah, okay,
your microphone's playing games with you.
okay, yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to when you get inspiration for a song, is there a certain what kind of stories are the ones that catch your ear? Let's put it that way.
Well, often it starts with me discovering something during a canoe trip or a hike in the bush. I'll find some old ruins, and just thinking about the way things were and back when these places were operating. That sort of triggers my imagination. And sometimes I'll have people come to me with stories too. And I will, sometimes these stories are really compelling and those end up being songs as well. So the inspiration comes in different forms. Some songs, I'm also a scuba diver, and I've actually scuba dived
Wow.
on some of the sites that were flooded from the Ottawa River when they dammed it up in the 1950s. And so I've sat on the church steps under 20 feet of water and felt the wear of the people that had been there
Wow.
from decades earlier. So the inspiration comes from that too. So there's all kinds of different scenarios where I just feel, oh, this is an amazing thing to try and turn into lyrics in a song.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, I can see how that could definitely move you to want to write a song about it. That's for sure. When it comes to recording, Mark, are you a home studio guy or do you use commercial studios?
Well, I start off. I use commercial studios, but
Okay,
I will do some of the work here in my home studio. But I don't have the skills or the good microphones to make a pro sound.
gotcha.
It's like making homebrew. I can make homebrew, but you can tell it's homebrew.
Yeah, you can get a demo out, right? Yeah, that's about it. Good stuff. Um, I reading on your website, it caught my eye there. Can you tell me about how you earned a certificate of congratulations from your MPP for Forgotten Memories of the Ottawa Valley? That's really cool.
Yeah, no, that was a wonderful thing that John Yakubuski did for me. So in COVID, of course, everybody shut down with live performances, and so what I did was I recorded my whole Forgotten Memories show um, by myself and put all the songs with the narratives on a YouTube channel, and then shared the YouTube links and to with all kinds of I guess mostly health centers and wherever there was a congregable living, so that the form of
Hmm.
entertainment for people that were locked up and couldn't get out. So I shared that whole show with everyone I could find, and that's what caught his attention. That's what he was thinking for
Nice.
was that effort.
Yeah, that's great. Have you encountered any stories that you got in the in the notebook ready to go that you haven't written about yet?
There's always a few things cooking away. Yeah, I was waiting for. Actually, we just did a little trip down south to get some fresh air and or some sunshine, and I thought I'd be finding some free time to write there, but I never came. So I have to wait for these moments where I feel inspired and I have time to really think about things. I haven't had that in a while, so I need to get back to that.
Gotcha. That's awesome. Tell me about your group, North Renfrew, and how that came about.
Yeah, so there's a festival series in my town, Deep River, and so all the musicians in the area put together bands and perform at this festival. It's just terrific. And so I put together a group called North Renfrew, and based upon that's the name of the district we're all from here. And anyway, so it's a group that the anchor of the group is myself and my son.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then we add on, so it's he plays melodica, accordion, some organ, some keyboards, whistle, and those types of things.
Cool.
And so we'll add in banjo, mandolin, fiddle, that sort of thing. So
Hmm.
we bring in different people and try and put together a nice sound. It's really great.
Yeah, I love that you have a melodica in it. I have one of those kicking around. I'm
Yeah.
nothing on keyboards. My wife can play keyboards more than anything else, and I've always wondered how I can incorporate it in. I'm going to have to give a listen and see how North Renfrew did it.
Yeah, it's a lovely instrument. It's breathing is the thing.
Yeah, no kidding, eh? Yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. Um, I love the way you have folks from your audiences review your shows. Huh, that is so cool. And I said, man, uh, I got to ask him about that. So, how do you get them to do such a thing?
Well, often it started off just people doing that on their own, and then every couple of years I'll realize, oh, I should get a new input. So I'll ask people, if you wouldn't mind, if you feel up to it, I'd love some comments about the show that I could then use to promote what I'm doing. And so
Yeah.
at first it started on its own, but then now I sort of push it along a little bit. It's good to have input too. Because as you do, as I'm sure you experience as well. I mean, we're all applying to play at music festivals,
Yeah.
and we're all facing incredible competition.
Yes.
And so we all have to have this whole media package, and part of it is having reviews for people that have seen the show. And like a lot of us musicians, we all have something to offer. We all have decent sound, and so it's just got to have something there for the artistic directors,
Hmm.
some confidence that artists.
Yeah. That's excellent. That's excellent. Yeah. Um, it's a little note I'm going to put in the back of my head because you know, uh, just trying to get unsolicited reviews from certain sites or magazines or whatever is sometimes futile in that respect. So I really like that idea. That's very cool.
I've never tried that though.
There you go. Yeah. Um, the music community, I have interviewed a few of you guys from that area, and I got to tell you, that community that you guys have in that Ottawa Valley it seems amazing. You all seem to support each other so well, and everybody's cross-performing. I just love it. Like, someone plays with someone else and someone else. It's awesome.
Yeah, it
It,
is really terrific.
yeah,
What?
if there was a lesson on how to figure out, if there was someone that knew how that happened, I would love to try to transplant that kind of information to other communities that don't have it.
Yeah, so one thing we do to help foster that is um, my wife and I, we also host. We put on house concerts,
Hmm. Yep.
and we'll have and sometimes we'll have professional musicians come and play. Like, and then other times it's like the local, performing musicians will come. We'll do a two or three performer show,
Hmm.
and that's a really great way for networking and for cross pollination between musicians. And so over the years, we've had most of the Ottawa Valley folk musicians perform with for us, and that's then creates a really great network. So we're all connected now. After you play together, you're buddies kind of thing.
Sure.
That's a really good way to stimulate that is to start hosting, doing songwriter events, having songwriter circles, introducing people to each other, and that really goes a long way towards fostering that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I do love it. Um, touring. Have you gone outside and done any touring beyond the Ottawa Valley there, Mark?
No, I don't, and I'd love to be able to do that, but I really don't know how to initiate that, and I don't think I have the following. I need to win some sort of award first. Incredible thing to attempt, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
can barely get on a festival stage, let alone be accepted at different communities for
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But so I haven't attempted that. The closest thing to that is I perform a lot for Ontario Parks, and so because they love historical songs are very much in their interest for
Hmm.
summer campers and that sort of thing. So I'm this summer I'll be performing that 4 or 5 parks, and I guess I'll probably pitch that as being a tour. But
Yeah, there you
you know,
go. That's good. Works. Why not?
I'll be coming
Yeah.
home every night. Anyways, it'll be really enjoyable to do that, to share my music that way. To that.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's actually one of the better ways to do it, I think, nowadays is
Yeah,
having a reason to go there. And like, you
yeah,
get 5 shows at 5 different provincial parks. Well, that's to me, that's close enough for a tour because I mean, hey, even long-standing musicians can't sustain touring with the costs that they're facing and stuff. And you know, if we hadn't got a grant for our tour, I think it wouldn't have been as smooth as it was. Let me tell you that.
yeah. I'll bet. Yeah.
Yeah, and so there's a lot to be said for um, making it purposeful in that respect.
Mhm.
Is this a full-time gig for you, Mark?
Well, I'm a retired geologist, what I am,
Oh, cool.
and so that's been great because I worked up north. I've seen a lot of northern Canada, and it's just been and there's inspiration from that as well. But so music is a big hobby of mine, and but I'm also involved in a local hiking trail system. I'm also involved in local Nordic ski. So I got 3 hats that I wear. One of them is my hat.
Nice. That's cool. Yeah, you come by it honestly. I guess everything is very, very true to form what you write about because you've either experienced it and been there kind of deal, right?
Yeah, and I
Uh,
think that's critical, is because in songwriting, it's all about connecting your soul, somehow getting your songwriting to come out of your soul. And so if you have inspiration from actually being in the spot the song is the topic about, that's about right, then it's much easier to try and to put that into words.
hmm
Songs.
Yeah, I get it. Um, let's touch on the bane of our existence and get your thoughts on some of that. And I noticed you have another cool little thing that I like and makes me think I might check out Bandzoogle. Um, you still have not social, streaming links, a couple on your website, but you have a whole section where they can buy right from you completely.
Yes,
And
yes.
do you make an effort to sell directly like that, Mark, or do you just kind of let them find it on their own? What's your
I let them,
preference?
well, I let them find it on their own. I don't really utilize that part of. I'm not very good at marketing, promoting that sort of thing. I guess I should, but unfortunately, the you know things like Spotify and Apple Music, they just rob all they rob us of music because they can people can download for free on those
Yeah,
two platforms.
yeah,
So why would they buy from my website?
yeah.
So anyways, I mean my interest in music is I love creating. I love sharing music. I'm not you know hell bent on trying to, to make a lot of money out of it. What my goal financially is just to be able to make enough money to be able to pay for the next album
There you
or
go.
pay guitar. That's my financial model.
Yeah, that's a financial model I've seen in quite a few styles.
Yeah,
You get the hobbyist in that that has his retired hobbyist, and the wife says, as long as you don't use any of our money, so they sell their little trinkets and stuff so they can have enough to keep going.
well, yeah, but and also I just love the notion that like I have a really nice guitar, really a folk guitar, and
That
that
you're
guitar was paid for with gig money. So from another guitar.
nice.
So we have this sort of progeny from one guitar that created this other guitar through sweat, humiliation and all the things that come with playing 500 times or whatever. And
Yeah, yeah.
uh, it's kind I kind of like it, but I'm definitely a hobby. It's a lovely hobby.
Good stuff. Well, nonetheless, Mark, you conduct yourself like a professional, so I would never expect you or treat you in any other way. Let's put it that way. So there you go. That's outstanding. Excellent. All right, sir. Well, thanks for coming on the show. Now, before we take off, I want you to tell the folks where they can find everything and anything they want to know about Marc Audet and socials and all the
Yeah,
rest of that fun stuff.
sure. And first of all, thanks so much, Brian, for bringing me into your blog series. I
No,
appreciate
no
that.
problem, man. I've been looking forward to this. Thank you.
Yeah. So I have a website, www.marketmusic.com, and I'm on Instagram and Facebook by the same names. I have a YouTube page with with a ridiculous number of videos. I should send them out. Anyways, so and if you just Google me, I'm on all the streaming platforms as well. Um, so if you Google me, I'll pop up that, or there's three Marcodets in the area. So
Oh, yeah.
the other ones too, and a hockey player too. So there's lots of Marcodets.
I had some of my guests. I looked them up and I went, "Hey, did you know that there's a Mark? Yeah, or whoever I have on there. And you know there's a so and so? Oh, really? Yeah, happens all the time." Mark, thank you so much for coming on the program and telling folks all about this and myself too. I learned lots from you guys. Um, so, folks, check out Mark's work. And if you want to know about the man, he's got anything you could possibly want to know about him on that website, and it's just absolutely perfect. So there you go. Thanks again, Mark.
Okay.